Hey y'all, come on in. Let's talk for a second. Let's talk. Let me get my life together. Hey Jazz, how are you? It's Jazz for me, honey. Hey Miss Judy, good morning. Well, it's afternoon, I think, for y'all, right? It's late for me, but I know it's still kind of early for some of y'all. Hey, hey, hey. I'm good. How you doing? I am good. Or yeah, I'm gonna say I'm good. We have to speak these things, right? Hey, Rosalind, welcome in, honey. Happy Monday. It's 1:55 here. Okay. Hey, Ashley, I'll be in the bushes. You have been some great content. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, baby. And I totally understand. Totally understand being in the bushes. Um, I'm not gonna wait too long. People just come in and catch it whenever they catch it, or they could just catch the replay. Because I just kind of want to say what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna get up off of here. Because like I said, it's getting late for me. It's almost 9 p.m. here in Germany. But I do want to say this. Um, Hopefully to just bring a little bit more clarity to all the chaos and shenanigans that we're seeing here on social media, right? So for those of you that don't know, I was on DHAM's panel yesterday, and we were having some dialogue as it pertains to the Romeca case, or just kind of some of the back and forth with, the content creators, that are vlogging or commentating on the case, right? And so fast forward towards the end of the live, Romeca's aunt joined the panel, and she made a statement that stood out to me the most. And it was just kind of eye opening for me personally, right? Like I can't speak for other people, but it was eye opening for me. And she stated that she had no problem with people, who felt like Romika, deserves justice, or that Holly, they're in defense of, or in support of Holly, or whatever. Basically, they had no problem, um, with people's stance as it pertains to the case. But her main issue was, people disrespecting her niece, who is no longer here. And the biggest thing for me was when she stated that it's crazy that the content creators here on YouTube are making a mess of the story, right? Hagley said, yes, she did. Actually, I felt that. No, for real, right? And I couldn't agree with her more, right? Because I'm just like, it's embarrassing, right? it, and maybe I'm the only one that felt embarrassed. And the crazy part is, I'm not really a part of the shenanigans, to be honest, right? But it's embarrassing, for a tragedy like that to happen, um, in the public. The story's kind of going viral, and people are wanting justice, regardless to what side of justice they want it on, right? And you have a family who is obviously grieving, obviously hurting, and they're looking for, um, people that can offer something that may help the case, or, maybe say something that maybe they didn't think about, or, or what have you, right? On either side, whether it's Holly's family or Romika's family. And so, hey, Miss Foxy, welcome in, baby. Jasmine says, per usual, always the creators doing it. Absolutely, Jasmine. Like it's completely, completely ridiculous. And you would think that the LaTrue saga would have been a lesson for us all, but unfortunately, here we are, a whole nother storyline, and it's the same bull crap. Um. So anyway, I was just sitting there thinking, like, how embarrassing, right? Um we're Black people. This young lady was Black. Both ladies involved in the situation are Black women. And us as a community, right? Like, we can't even figure out how to come together, even in tragedy, right? Regardless of whatever side or whatever, your feelings are on the matter, right? But then I started thinking, and I'm like, you know what? I keep hearing people saying, like, oh, you can't have an opinion. You got an opinion, you're going to be attacked, and all this other stuff, right? Um, and so when it comes to having an opinion, right, it basically means that you see things differently, right? I've said this until I'm blue in the face. I don't think, y'all, that it's about people having an opinion, right? When people start mocking the dead, justifying violence, or celebrating the act that took someone's life, that's no longer, in a lot of people's opinion or perspective, the way they see it, it's no longer about perspective at that point. It's about character, right? And so this conversation, I feel like, stop being about whose side you're on the moment empathy left the room. And I think that's how a lot of people are viewing this situation, right? I don't think people have a problem with um, content creators, regardless to side, having an opinion, but that is the narrative that is being spun, and I don't quite get it. So I'm gonna try to make it make sense for y'all. Hey, Shelly, welcome in, baby. Hagley says, I don't like the chaos at all. I'm truly saddened by this. Me as well. Me as well. Hey, Rozzy, welcome in, baby. How are you? Happy Monday. It's not, even when it comes to she lost her life and mocking that isn't cool. Exactly, Jasmine. And I fully understand. Like, don't misunderstand what I'm saying, y'all. I fully get that there are situations where people intentionally misunderstand things because they don't want to understand what is actually right in front of them, right? Like, you can explain it and explain it and explain it, and people will play like they don't understand what you're talking about, or it's not applicable, or that's not how it is. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm fully aware that to an extent there are people who are playing like they're clueless and that they don't understand where people are coming from, although they are explaining it to a T, right? The beefing being created is disheartening. It is, Rozzy. But you know what? I'm not surprised. That's just social media in general, right? So back to what I was saying. I feel like it became about who we are as people, right? What we value, and whether we still recognize right and wrong when the noise on social media blurs the line as it pertains to this Romeca case, right? So when people defend cruelty or twist tragedy into entertainment, it shows a spiritual void, right? Like a loss of reverence for human life. And that's what you're sensing. It's not about debate. It's about dehumanization. And I've said this so many times in some of my videos where I am talking about the case or whatever. It's the act of the perspective to a lot of people, right? It looks like you are dehumanizing someone who lost their life. So at that point, it's not about, it's so much deeper than opinion. And I just wish people would acknowledge that. Hey, Terry Dow, welcome in, baby. Mind of your own, of our own family. Absolutely. And thank you for putting in the copyright disclaimer. I appreciate that. Right? So when I say it's deeper than people's opinions, right? Spiritually, for a lot of us, right? Compassion is the baseline, right? You don't need to know somebody to feel grief for their death or outrage at their suffering, right? That's why when we watch murder cases or even some of the injustices we've witnessed with like Sandra Bland, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have to know them to feel some sort of outrage at the fact that they lost their life so senselessly, right? And so with this case, although people like to act like it's something completely different or completely foreign compared to other cases, it's very similar when it comes to the fact that someone lost their life senselessly, right? For something that they didn't need to lose their life for. And this baby, she had a baby, y'all. Romeca's son is the same age as my daughter, the one I was just telling y'all I just took to Disneyland a couple days ago. Okay, so my baby girl is attached to me And if she ain't attached to me, she attached to her dad. And I can't imagine someone taking my life or with the way that whole scene played out. And I don't want to get into this, the details of the case because people want to argue and bicker about the details. And well, we don't know if that's true. We don't know if that happened, blah, 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 right? But the way the details are presenting based on the witness statements, the clips that we have seen, and things like that, it appears that this lady was ambushed, period. And that's whether people agree or not. That's just the way it looked to a lot of us, right? So when people have to be proven wrong before they can feel empathy for someone, that's not an opinion, right? That's spiritual emptiness, or that's the way it looks, right? You can disagree on details, on stories and scenarios or whatever, but you can't disagree on dignity when it comes to someone's life being taken, right? When it comes to respecting them after they've passed away and they can no longer defend themselves. And I think that's the part that is going over a lot of people's head. Hey, Danny, welcome in, baby. Um, so this isn't about people not being able to have an opinion. I think it's about people losing their morality, right? You can't hide behind the word opinion when your stance celebrates violence or mocks a victim. So this is about something deeper. Like the spirit of compassion, like the value of life and the kind of energy we put into the world after someone loses their life. These are the pieces that I feel like a lot of people are missing. It's deeper than an opinion, right? And for those who don't believe, that Romeca's death was justified, this case hasn't just been about outrage. It's about the spiritual disturbances, right? Like that's a real thing, y'all. Some things that happen in the world for those of us who are in tune, with a higher power, you believe in God, you believe in the universe, whatever your higher power is, right? Some things that happen in the world, some things that transpire, it disturbs your spirit, right? So many people were outraged here recently about the SNAP benefits being cut off or people losing their Section 8. And what are people going to do? And they're going to starve America and they're going to starve thousands and millions of people, right? Why? Because you had a spiritual or a moral compass within you to say this is not right. There are people out here who have disabilities. There are people out here who can't work and go get the money to pay for their own food and they need those benefits. Yes, there are also people who abuse the system and they do different things that they shouldn't do with those benefits, but it doesn't take away the fact that there are people who really do need them. And so for a lot of us from the outside looking in, whether we know someone who benefits from it, whether there's some people who may, have needed the benefit, whether you're in my chat or know someone, like the thing is people were outraged at the fact of people not having any heart or understanding for humanity of people who cannot afford food and it being snatched from them or not being able to feed their children, right? So, hey, Anissa, baby, welcome in. I'm for the truth and facts about things with this story, and I don't have any side. I just want justice for Romeca and her family to heal and get peace from Holly unaliving her. I agree. Hey, Trina, welcome in, baby. Hey, Shell, how are you, my Aquarius sister? How are you? Happy Monday. Right. So I say all of that to say, like, when people are outraged or it comes down to morality or spirituality and things like that, like, people are watching, like with this case, right, with the Romeca case, people are watching others celebrate or excuse someone's death or their life being taken. And they're left asking, how can anyone see this and feel peace? Because again, going back to that spiritual piece, some things just don't set well in your spirit to witness, right? And so for many, it's not about taking sides. It's about holding on to humanity in a world where empathy feels endangered, right? Like we live in a world people do not care, y'all. I think all of y'all can agree to that. You can go in a store and somebody will treat you like shit for no reason, right? And you could be paying for the service. You can go to the doctor and they'll dismiss you or tell you for months nothing's wrong. when you know something wrong with you. Like we talk about it a lot, especially in the Black culture. I've heard a lot of Black women saying that, advocate for yourself because Black women are not taken seriously when they make certain complaints in the medical field or when they go see a doctor and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So it when it comes to these type of situations, right? It's about holding on to humanity in a world where empathy feels in danger. People do not care about you, whether that's in the passing, you losing your life, whether that's your day to day, you going to work, whether that's you going to a doctor's appointment or any of that. People don't care, right? So for a lot of us, when we are presented with a situation or something happens, right, whether it's tragic or not, that's the one opportunity of very few where we have the right to choose how we're going to view this situation or how we are going to handle the situation spiritually and if it aligns with us morally speaking. Hey Trinity, welcome in, baby. Hey Roz, welcome in, baby. I missed you. I'm sorry. Um, so like back to what I was saying, when you value life, right? Watching others mock a death makes your spirit ache. Like straight up, unless you just soulless, heartless, right? At least most people. I can't speak for everybody, right? So people on the side of compassion need to feel that they can sleep at night, that their stance isn't about hate or anger, but about honoring what's right. Standing for Romeca isn't about picking a fight, y'all. It's about protecting your own conscience. Because when you refuse to normalize cruelty, right, you're choosing moral clarity. And that's how you find rest in a world where, you know, it's lost like its sense of right and wrong. So many people, hey, Cancer 66, welcome in, baby. So many people, um, it's like they're desensitized to the craziness of the world like it's normal. Like I mean, quick example. When we used to watch TV as kids, y'all, we was not seeing like sex and drugs and trafficking and all that. Like seriously, like it's to a point now, like when my kids get on Netflix, I'm like, make sure you're on your account. Don't go on my account because I need to make sure that whatever they're watching is appropriate for their age because there is no censorship in the world right now. Kids, adult, everybody's being exposed to all type of craziness and you're expected to just think that that's normal. Y'all know about the black web or you've heard about it, right? There is people literally on there stealing people's identity, hiring people to take people out, ordering hits on people, all type of crazy shit. Like we have access to this. Like this is the type of world we living in. This is the type of world we living in. Hey Nay, welcome in, baby. So we're not upset because people disagree. We're disturbed because so many people have stopped caring to say like, "Oh well, this person shouldn't have been." Like, okay, even if that's your sentiment and that's your right, right? Let's look past that. Someone lost their life. They're never coming back. They had a baby. That baby, my baby's in first grade. So Romeika's son is most likely in first grade. His whole life is ahead of him, and he's a young black man living in Chicago without his mom. And his dad potentially, possibly had something to do with her death and helping uh orchestrate or watch it play out of his mom losing his life. And that's the man that is left here to raise him. Hey boo, glad I caught you alive. You and your commentary is amazing. I just want you to know I love it, Ash. Oh, thanks so much, Nay. I appreciate you. I really do. Right? Um, so people who still feel empathy are fighting to keep their spirit soft, right? In a culture that rewards, again, things being desensitized that shouldn't be. We're all being exposed to all type of craziness and nonsense, and we just normalize it like that's normal. I was just telling y'all a couple lives back, like there was a clip online, y'all, just online. I think it might have been on TikTok of the man. Apparently, the story was he requested to speak to a manager or something, and he got his head cut off. Like, is that normal? That's not normal, y'all. But they putting it on TikTok and like I got kids that have access to TikTok. What if that came down my kids' For You page? This the type of stuff that's being planted and put into our spirits. And it's supposed to be normalized. Like that's supposed to be normal. So then now you got Romeca over here who got shot down in the street. And people want to argue and fight over the details to try to say, well, if she shouldn't have done X, Y, Z, or she wouldn't have got her life took. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. Trayvon Martin had a pack of Skittles and a hoodie on, and he lost his life. It's still senseless. And for a lot of people, I don't think people realizing, right? For many, their faith teaches that life is sacred, right? That vengeance belongs to God or whatever their higher power is. And that you don't get to take another person's life unless there is absolutely no other choice. And so, for so many people, our beliefs do not let us celebrate death, someone losing their life. We're called to mourn it, to seek peace, and to protect life, not defend its destruction or the destruction of life. Hey, Miss J. Jones, welcome in, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's again, I think people are missing the importance of it all. It's bigger than you can't have an opinion. There are people that are struggling spiritually and morally with being okay with someone losing their life, being shot down in the street over an argument or over social media beef or over a baby dad. That's not enough justification. And to be like, oh, well, it was stupid for them to fight. Well, yeah, it's also stupid for y'all to come online and argue with strangers that you never met in real life. I mean, we could go down a list of things that are stupid and that don't make sense, but it still does not negate the fact that this girl did not have to lose her life. And the crazy part is the more I look at this case, y'all, the more I'm seeing so many other things unfold. I'm working on a video now. I'm not gonna tell you what it's about, but it will be out tomorrow or whatever. That I noticed like, yo, Holly was not thinking, y'all. She dropped the ball in a lot of ways, and people can't accept that. And then if you say that because oh, you're justice for Romeca, and vice versa, right? It's like it's automatically, oh well, I can't have an opinion because someone had a difference of opinion, or someone had a different perspective on the situation, or it's a direct attack because you don't agree with what I said or you didn't say what I said. And it's so much more to it than that. The new normal is definitely becoming scary. It is, Miss J, like for real, like definitely scary. I'm serious, right? Um, but back to what I was saying, like people of faith, right, often talk about spiritual unrest, right? That uneasy feeling when something violates your sense of what's right before God. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make this mushy or churchy or none of that, right? There's a lot of people who do not go to church, myself included, but that does not mean that I don't have a relationship with my higher power, who I believe in, and whoever you believe in, or whatever, right? And so because a lot of us were raised certain ways, or it's just our beliefs just from a variety of life experiences, or just different things that we've been through, we eventually, I mean, you either go one way or the other. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? Some of us end up being hell on wheels. You're destructive as hell because you lived a terrible life, right? And then there's those of us who went through hell or went through different things of trauma, or just challenges all throughout life for whatever reason, right? We all have different life paths, and you have vowed and promised yourself that your life will get better. You're willing to do whatever it takes to make your life better, right? So again, I'm not trying to make this about spiritual, religious and things like that, but I think a lot of people, just because we come on here and we kick shit with each other and we laugh, and we find shit funny that maybe shouldn't be funny, or we laugh at a joke that might be a little inappropriate, or we laugh at something someone might have said out loud that other people didn't want to say here and there. That does not mean that we don't have a spiritual or moral compass in real life. There's been times when I've come on here and shed tears and people thought I was bullshitting, like, oh, those some fake ass tears. Why? Because the way a lot of us present to the world is like we don't cry, we so hard, we got life figured out, crying is for suckers and all that other shit, right? Let's be real. Everybody on this mug can cry. Everybody on this mug shed tears at some point, right? Because we're all human at the end of the day. And it's the same way if one of you were to lose your life in the chat senselessly, I would feel the same way. Outraged. The crazy part, right? Because I've seen people try to compare the Carmelo thing or whatever. I've spoken on the Carmelo case, and I'm sure some of you may have watched some of the content. I think I've even done a couple lives on it as well, right? Even when I was reporting on the Carmelo situation, what you did not hear me say is, well, he deserved it. He shouldn't have been up in Carmelo's face. He shouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand that regardless to what side of the story that I'm on, I have children, right? And if my child had been Austin, who lost his life in the Carmelo case, I wouldn't give a damn if I felt like, or people felt like Carmelo was defending himself. I would be hurt about the fact that I lost my child. And it's just crazy to me that people act like that's so hard to wrap their minds around. It's like, can you just stop for a second and put yourself in Miss Tina's place? Miss Tina is Romeca's mom. Yes, Romeca was grown. She was an adult, but she was not that old, y'all. Romeca was 31. 31. She just got out of her 20s. She still had her whole life ahead of her. Has she made some mistakes? Yes, we all do. But that still does not justify the way y'all come on here, the way y'all come on here and show y'all natural black ass on a regular, and then still have the audacity to try to dig up somebody's past and try to justify that they deserve to lose their life is mind boggling to me, for real. Like, it is mind boggling. I cannot wrap my mind around it to save my life, for real. Because it's like, you can't be serious. You can't be serious. Like, based on your perspective, then someone should take your life. And that sounds insensitive, doesn't it? Yes, of course it does. Because you probably feel like, well, I'm justified in acting like a donkey on this motherfucker every other day. But to other people from the outside looking in, they may not agree with that. They may not agree with that, but you wouldn't be okay with people saying that you deserve to have some type of uh your life taken, or something terrible happen to you because of your behavior. What I understand, right? We all going through stuff, right? Especially at this time of life. The government shut down, people snap. I think they just approved it today, for it temporarily just for this month. So then if the government is still shut down by December, they're going to go through the same thing all over again. It has to go through the approval process or whatever, right? So a lot of people are going through a lot of shit. I went to work today, and the girl that is like above me or whatever, like that I report to before my main boss, like I could just tell she was going through some shit. Hey Fee, welcome in, baby. I could tell she was going through some shit. She was all over the place, y'all. She didn't know her ass from her head. And what I understand is her and I both are not being paid right now. Hell, the whole damn organization, nobody's being paid. Right? So my thing is, most likely common sense, right? Instead of me popping back off or deciding that, oh, well, you want to have a shitty day, I'm going to make it worse, right? Instead of doing that, I just offered her grace, right? I didn't get nasty. I had no ill feelings toward the lady or none of that, because what I do understand is that people are going through stuff, like they got real life shit going on. Was it okay for her to be rude and snapping and, you know, sending fucking emails that were not appropriate or that I felt like was less professional? Of course not. But I have to give this woman grace because I get it. We all not getting paid right now. For some people, that's a very ugly situation because not everybody is financially set or financially responsible. Y'all have heard it a million times that some people are one paycheck away, you know what I'm saying, from losing everything. And we live in Germany. So whether you live on base or on the economy, it's a big difference, because if you live on the economy, baby, they don't care about none of this government shutdown, baby. They want their money, honey. They want their coins. So I don't know what her situation was, and I didn't judge her for it. And to be honest, I could be wrong. Maybe she was just being a bitch. right? Maybe she ain't going through shit. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it was just Monday for her. But I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt because I understand that there is people are in a state of emergency right now. So I didn't make it about me. I didn't make it about, oh, she being rude to me. Oh, she walked past because I spoke to her, she didn't speak. She just walked right past me. I could have got offended. But for what? Does it really matter? Do it really matter? I don't give a fuck if she don't speak to me. I don't give a damn if she don't speak to me for real. Like it didn't make or break my day, baby. My day was great. Right? And I didn't have to ruin hers because she having a moment. So that's the thing that I'm talking about. Everybody's so big on, and again, it goes back to what I was saying. The world is so desensitized to shit that they shouldn't be desensitized to. Everybody want to match energy. Everybody want to say, well, it was I have so many stories that I could share, but I don't want to make this live too long. But I remember like my dad used to tell me like when he was a young kid, his dad used to get a pair of jeans and an apple for Christmas. So he felt that that's all they should get for Christmas, right? And we laugh about it now, but like that really was his mentality because he felt like, you know what? Nah, that's all I ever got for Christmas. That's all y'all ass getting. He didn't look at the fact like, oh, okay, I'm in a better position right now. You know what I'm saying? And so because I didn't like how it felt to get an apple and a pair of jeans for Christmas, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do y'all like that. Nah, he felt like, nah, we gonna match energy. That's what I got, that's what y'all getting. And that's what's wrong. A lot of us get so wrapped up into that to where now when somebody else in a situation, you have no compassion for someone else for whatever reason. Let me get you. It became a personal and hold on. Did I skip a Hey Sherry, welcome in, baby. The new normal is definitely scary. Okay. No, she didn't actually. You're absolutely right. Miss J says, and then became too personal and too opinionated. Absolutely, Miss J, and that's something else. Shout out to Queen Step. I was catching her replay, honey, and I'm still not finished, but honey, I'm going to finish that live. Um, but she was saying like how when it comes to this Romeca case and just content in general, right? Like, and we've seen it so much across obviously multiple stories because of the damn LaTrue saga, right? But when it comes to like content creators and stuff like that, like people are taking everything personal, taking everything as like a personal hit just because of how someone feels in their stance on a story, right? And I couldn't agree more. Like it's so obvious because like I support Romeca, right? I want justice for Romeca, but I could not get mad or assume that if someone says, "Oh, people who support Romeca are blah blah blah," I can't personalize that and think that they're directly talking to me when there is hella motherfuckers talking about justice for Romeca. You know what I'm saying? And again, I've said it a million times till I'm blue in the face. Like when it comes to other people's perspectives or things that they believe, if you don't agree with it, just don't fucking watch it. Like for real. Like I'm not gonna get offended about some shit that don't apply to me. You're not talking about me. I know you're not talking about me because I can't identify what you're talking about. So there's no reason for me to get offended. You know what I'm saying? So I've even had to dial it back for myself to make sure, like, hey, are you sure you want to post this? I almost deleted my video I did earlier today when I was talking about the Holly is a hero or whatever. Because I ain't gonna lie, that emotionally triggered me. Not gonna lie. Because I just thought that was ultimately disrespectful. I just thought that was hella disrespectful and unnecessary. Right. But I was like, no, because I am giving, context to what I'm talking about. And I'm not just on here whining and complaining about the fact that someone said that, right? And I just wish if people could consider that, right, when they put content out or they come to their platform, whether that's a live stream or a video, take your feelings out of it. Even if you feel a way, make make the feelings productive, right? Bring some fucking knowledge to these people. You know what I'm saying? Because although I felt a way, I felt like that was disrespectful. Like there was something that I could teach the people. Like, oh, there's a term for this. This is what the term is, and this is what it means. I could break it down so people could get understanding for why they're hearing and seeing some of the things that they're doing instead of coming on here deciding to argue and fight with somebody who said it. And that's the thing. Like people not even understand. Like you can turn it and make it work out and make it productive in your favor instead of working against yourself or self-sabotaging yourself. So like I said, shout out to the Queen Step. She really reminds me of, I mean, she's not that much older than me. I'm almost 40. She's mid 40s. Um, but here's the thing, right? Like the way Queen Step was giving it up on her live is what I'm used to, right? I got family in New York, I got family down south, and both of them will eat your ass up, right? And so sometimes tough love is the best love. And so her live and her delivery to me just came off as tough love. And there were things that I felt I got from that, right? Like when she was saying, like, yo, like shake back, like some of us be getting too emotionally involved in this internet shit. Like you gotta stay focused on your mission. Like this is your platform. You know what you came on here to do. You know what you came on here to say. So you can't just be getting thrown off, about getting all wrapped up into a story to where now you emotional and all the other stuff. And that was like a light bulb moment for me. Again, something I knew, but sometimes you need to hear something again. Sometimes you need somebody else outside of yourself to tell you, like, yo, you need to straighten up. Like you getting a little too, you know what I'm saying? You going a little too far left. Right. But it's so sad because again, going back to that desensitizing piece that I'm talking about with society, people feel like because they grown, they can't be told nothing. Who you checking? You can't check me. Okay, but sometimes your ass need to be checked at whatever age you at. My kids sometimes will check me, not disrespectful, but like my 7-year-old, she'll tell me, well, mom, but mom, you said, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like I have to stop in that moment, like, yo, it's right. Like she has a point. And that's the thing. Like when we get put in those positions where we have to hold ourselves accountable, we don't like it. And that's why we got all the bickering right now. Like, oh, we can't, y'all don't accept my opinion and all this other stuff. And like that's not necessarily the case. And that's what I'm hoping that this live will show y'all that for a lot of people, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It's a moral and a spiritual battle. Like they spirit, they soul will not allow them to be okay with the fact that Romeca got shot in her face and taken away from her child over a social media beef or a little baby mama rivalry or whatever freaking thing you want to put on that, right? It won't allow people spiritually, it won't set in their spirit. They won't sleep at night. They will not be okay with who they are and who they know that they are and their belief system by being okay with it. It ain't nothing personal. So, yes, I believe all of us can have an opinion. And to be honest, I feel like nobody has an issue with people having an opinion. This is something people are trying to work through spiritually and morally. And what people don't even understand, the case has not even been tried or, fully investigated or anything like that, right? So no matter what the results are, right? Whether we get uh legal justice for Romeca or not, right? That's a whole nother battle that we still gotta work through. That we still gotta work through in the event she don't get justice, right? Or maybe she get justice and then they give Holly a fucking smack on the wrist. Cause y'all know they do it. You can go murder somebody and get 5 years, but then they'll lock your ass up for 25 for a fucking bag of weed. You know what I'm saying? So like people gotta pay attention to the bigger picture. And to be honest, like I said earlier in the live, I think people understand that it's not the fact that they can't have an opinion. I think it's just coming down to it's just easier to roll with that. It's just like I've heard like, oh well, if you 14 Romeca, it's because you like you want to be with the majority, like you a follower. And again, that's borderline disrespectful because is it that hard to believe that some of us out here really do want justice for this young lady who lost her life in a senseless matter? Just because the majority feel like, you know what, this is wrong, she should not have lost her life this way, does not make all these people followers. Like it's just crazy. Like the extremes that are being put on this case is mind boggling. Like, is it really that hard to believe that people do have a heart? Honestly, I'm rejoicing at the fact that there are so many people standing for justice for Romeca because so many people don't care. And that's what I talked about earlier in the live. People don't care. This is just the world we live in. People do not care. They don't think twice about disrespecting you or mistreating you for absolutely no reason. You don't even have to do nothing wrong. They don't even have to know you. You could be a completely stranger in the street. I had a lady push me and my kids out the way at fucking Disneyland while we standing in line at the baby. Listen, she don't even understand. She don't even understand all the things that ran through my mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, okay, should I check this out in front of all these kids? You know what I'm saying? Or is it really that serious? Should I just let her be great? Let me catch up in the comments. Joanne, hey baby, welcome in. That's facts. As your attendance in church doesn't determine your relationship with God. You hit that on the nose. Yes, Nay. I'm telling you, because that's just a building, honey, full of people, just like the people here on social media, full of shit. Respectfully. Fee says, yes, Ashley. Shout out to you, Fee. I gotta go finish the rest of your live as well. Fee says, I get these calls. It's sad. I'm telling you, it's real out here. That's why I love it here. Aw, Fee. I love having you here. Wow, that was deep. Thank you, Raquel. Joanne says step went in. She did, but it was needed. It was a good live. I'm telling you, I gotta go back. Y'all lives be long. That's why I'm like, I can't be on here too long because I'll be really trying. I try to watch your content all the way through, straight up. Like I'll pop my headphones on, do my laundry. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I'll take a shower because I got Bluetooth wireless headphones. I'll be all in the shower, you know, closing up, cleaning up the kitchen, like just doing all type of stuff in the evening around the house or like on a lunch break or whatever, trying to support all the people that I support because I really want to hear y'all's perspective and what y'all talking about. But it's a lot, I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot. Anisha said, yes, indeed, you're absolutely right about that one. Hey, Shawnee, welcome in, baby. Let me see. Truth be told, Raquel says, yes, justice for Romeca. I feel the same way. Absolutely. That's me, man, on a day to day with people because they out here reckless. No, for real. Like for real. And you know what? Shout out to oh my God, how did I forget her name? That is my girl. She's actually my moderator. I can't think of her YouTube name off top, but she had commented under my video today, and she has stated that I think she had a family member who took someone's life, like an ex's life, by stabbing, and it was just a moment of rage, and of course the person was not trying to take the person's life, but they ended up passing away. And so she was saying that, although it was hard for her as a family, they had to tell the family member, like they had to be okay with the fact that the family member needed to take accountability. Right. And so that family member is serving time for the crime or whatever. And so she was saying that this Romeca story is just very triggering. Right. And this is the thing that I feel like when people want to come on here and bicker and argue about shit that don't matter, this is why a lot of us are doing it, right? Because these are real life situations that happen to people. And this is what I be talking about when I say we got to be careful with what we say and what we put out here as content creators, right? Content creator damn, I just lost my whole train of thought. But it's like basically saying cool. Hey Krisha, welcome in, baby. Having some cool when it comes to your platform, right? Because you don't know who you hitting when you coming on here slinging mud and you saying crazy shit, right? My moderator, I had no idea that that was a story in her life that she could relate to. I met her through the La Truth saga, right? And this is like literally to a T. She could relate to this story. Somebody close to her, same thing. Well, not same exact thing. Like it wasn't no baby daddies or nothing like that, to my understanding. But what I'm saying is, it was an ex-lover situation, and the person ended up losing their life, and they had to go sit down. You know what I'm saying? And although I'm sure there was a lot of factors involved in that scenario, right? It doesn't take away the facts of the case, right? And that's what she was speaking to. And I pinned her comment. I can't. It's on one of the two videos that I posted today. I think it might have been the last one. I think it was the last video I posted about Romeca today. That she commented, and I pinned it because I was like, I want people to see this. Like it's real out here. Like these are situations that people find themselves in all the time. It don't mean that Holly is the worst person in the world. It just means she needs to be accountable. She took somebody's life in the heat of a moment, y'all. That's it, and that's all. So to be coming on here doing all this extra shit, it, for what? All because of a difference of opinion, or because you don't feel like people's perspective aligns with yours? Like, that's crazy. Spiritually, I'm going back to the point of this lie. Spiritually and morally, y'all, for a lot of people, it does not align. Point blank and period. Shout out to Queen Fee. She witnessed her mom lose her life as a child. She was a child, y'all. So you think this case not triggering for her? Or you don't think it's disturbing? Like, for those of us who have rocked with Queen Fee, right? Imagine, like, I'm on Holly's side, right? And I'm saying, nah, she was justified. She should have took Romeca life. But I rock with Queen Fee, who witnessed somebody take her mother's life. Like, come on, y'all. How is that supposed to make Fee feel? And that's the thing. People trying to make it about opinion. It's about the disregard for humanity, the disregard for life. You have a life. Would you be okay with somebody taking your life because they feel justified, or because they don't like you, or because y'all beefed and went back and forth a couple times online? Would you be okay with that? No, you wouldn't. Um, period fee. It's just crazy. So anyway, like I was saying, like, many religious teachings and things emphasize mercy over judgment, and life over retaliation. So when people act as though life loss is trivial, or that it was deserved for someone to lose their life, it contradicts those values for a lot of us. And so that's why people of faith, or whatever their beliefs are, morally or spiritually speaking, are struggling to find peace with this situation as it pertains to Romeca. Thank you, Free. Free says, I know we haven't talked recently. I've had so much going on, but baby, the combo we've had in my head. Shout out to you, Upper Queen, Justice for Roe. Period. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh my gosh, child. Yes, Free. I know. I'm gonna just hush, because I already know how this case resonates. So yeah, unbelievable. Um, so yeah, so that's what a lot of us are feeling here, right? Like, it's not about politics or social media arguments. It's about the sickness that comes from watching people normalize the craziness of this world, right? Many religious teachings emphasize mercy, like I said previously, or life over retaliation, or whatever. And people can disapprove of an act deeply, right? They can even grieve it without harboring hate towards the person involved, right? Again, like I just said, shout out to Holly. Like, I mean, well, I wouldn't say shout out to her, because I mean, I ain't got no hate for her or nothing, but I ain't gonna shout her out, because this is not a situation where she needs to be shouted out, right? She needs to be called out for accountability, right? So I disapprove of her taking someone's life, and I grieve that, but I don't harbor any hate for Holly. I don't know Holly. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't waste no time trying to dig into her background, right? Now, I did see that clip where she was like, I would never, and she was like, exposing things about Romeca, which I thought was distasteful, or whatever. And I did put that in one of my videos, but it was just to show, because people really wanted to try to paint it like Romeca was the only one antagonizing in the situation. So I put that in to just show, like, obviously the antagonizing amongst both of these ladies was across the board. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's my thing, right? But outside of that, I'm not gonna go dig up Holly's history. I'm not gonna go look up, what I'm saying, her family. I'm not gonna go pull her whole background or nothing like that, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're talking about the issue at hand and what happened in that moment, right? And how things went left. Nate says, very true, Ash. That's why I respect Queen Fee so much. Absolutely. Absolutely. I got love for Queen Fee, for real. Um, so yeah, so for those with strong moral or spiritual, convictions, rejecting certain actions isn't about judgment. It isn't about you can't have an opinion. It's about staying true to their values and protecting their own peace. People got to sleep at night, y'all. Like, so you want people to just go against everything they believe, their core values and everything that they value in life, just to prove loyalty to you on social media? Come on. Come on, y'all. That sound crazy, even saying it out loud. And so for many, like refusing to normalize or excuse certain actions like Romeca's death isn't about hostility, it's about spiritual self-preservation. We got to be okay when we log off of this. Some of us enjoy sleeping at night. And we don't want to feel like we got to agree with certain perspectives to prove that we're not a follower, or to prove that we still rock, or we don't, or to prove that we respect your opinion. I'm not going to hold you. Like, it's hard for me to listen to people despise Romeca. And I don't even know Romeca personally. It is hard for me to be like, well, for me to hear people say, well, she should have this, or Holly is a hero. Keep Holly free. That's like that. That's disturbing for me. Just at the potential of what could have happened based on the facts and the things that we've seen so far. Like, that bothers me. So me not being able to sit under someone saying that is not because I have a personal issue with that person, right? It is uncomfortable for me spiritually. That's it, and that's all. And that's what people need to understand, right? I've also heard people saying like issues of support, like, oh, people, I'm losing support and all that. And I've heard this from more than one content creator, to be clear, because I don't want y'all thinking I'm trying to shade nobody or none of that, right? I've heard it from more than one person as it pertains to, being in support of Holly versus Romeca, right? Here's the thing with that. If you're still getting views on your content, you're still getting support, right? What I think a lot of people are missing is that people are not willing to engage with it, right? Because what here's the thing with social media. Some things that you say and do can look or appear a certain way, right? So if you just said Holly is a hero, and then I comment replay showing love and support, for somebody reading that from the outside looking in, it might make somebody else be like, whoa, what? Like, so you're supporting the fact that it was stated that Holly is a hero, right? Now I know people gonna be like, so what? It shouldn't matter if you support, you support. You shouldn't care what people think. Da, 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 da. Okay, that's cool, but some of us care about how we represent ourselves, right? And so you don't want to send the wrong message, whether it's an accident or not, right? You don't want to send the wrong message. Um, Ross says, I really be ready to fight, so I don't watch. Is that true? Side chicks are with hot. No, for real. And I couldn't agree with you more, Roz. That's how I feel. It's infuriating. And it's crazy because I wasn't even following the case at first. Like, I knew about the case, but I just had decided, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to report on the case. I'm just not, because I just felt like it was sad. I knew it would be triggering for me. And I was just like, nah, because I told y'all several times before, I have a burning passion within me. I do not like injustice, y'all. Like, it's just it's a part of who I am. I cannot stand by and watch injustice. I just can't. I've tried. Trust me, I've tried. I just can't do it. Right? I can't do it. Hey Malish, welcome in, baby. I can't do it. I could have sworn freedom of speech was in the Constitution, but now freedom of speech gets you killed, judged, betrayed, and many things. It's just sad overall. Absolutely, Nay. Absolutely. And that's the thing, because there are scenarios where people can't have an opinion, right? Like, y'all seen it in La Truth Saga. You have an opinion, boom, your damn grandmother, her grandkids, her baby, that everybody, your whole fucking family line is posted on somebody's community wall or on somebody's screen trying to be entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Because you had an opinion they didn't like. To me, that's a reflection of someone not being able to have an opinion. But someone saying, you know what? I don't have no ill will towards you. I do still support you, but I can't stand with this. I don't feel like that's the same thing. Right? But to demand that people still have that type of um revelation, or that same type of interaction with you, I just feel like it's selfish. It's selfish, it's inconsiderate. You don't know what people are dealing with. Like, not everybody come online and post their business, right? Like, not everybody come online and share everything they've been through, but there's more people than my moderator that I was talking about. There's more people than her, like, that can relate to this story in a number of ways. Do you know how many people who have lost their life to gun violence? Do you know how many people who have lost their life just from domestic violence? Like the rabbit hole goes deep, y'all. It's deeper than what it looked like. And it's just crazy that people are just choosing to be offended, or choosing to feel attacked, or choosing to feel that because people don't want to stand with that for whatever their spiritual, moral beliefs are, right? That automatically it means that their opinion is being rejected. That's not what's happening. Felicia says that part. So I'm not touching it. I don't support Holly supporters. It's just that simple. My choice. Absolutely. And I respect that. I can't. I've tried. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I have tried. I have tried because believe it or not, I don't have any personal issue with anyone who says that they're a Holly supporter. I don't dislike people because they support Holly or they're for Holly. I just can't hear the commentary. I just can't, y'all. I have tried. I promise to God. I have tried. I don't make it 5 minutes. I have to get off. I can't do it. I cannot do it, y'all. I can't because it's just insane. It's freaking insane. And the sad part is now what you're witnessing is now is coming down to people being pushed away because now it's like, oh, you're not a real supporter if you're not going to stand with me on this. That's not fair. That's not fair because that may not be true. That may not be true. People can still support you and just be like, you know what? I mean, I've had people tell me like, you know what, Ash, I really like your content, but I don't do true crime. Like I don't like true crime. It's just icky. I don't like watching stories like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't get mad and be like, oh, you're not my loyal supporter then because you don't want to watch this. Do y'all understand as content creators, right? Especially someone who blogs on different things, right? Sometimes you'll see me do celebrity gossip. Sometimes you'll see me do stories like this, right? Some things are just not some people's cup of tea. Right? Like when I posted about Meg the Stallion, some of y'all may not fool with Meg, don't care nothing about what she got going on with that song. Right. Whereas there were some people who was commenting, they were engaged with that type of content. I cannot assume that someone is not loyal to me because they don't watch or follow every little thing that I cover because there may be a situation that they don't. It's just like people who didn't care about the LaTruth saga. Y'all think I got 30,000 subscribers off of the LaTruth saga? Absolutely not. That many people were not interested or invested into that saga like that. Not to accrue 30,000 subscribers. So that's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes, right? And I've explained this so many times when it comes to my platform. I've had my platform for several years, and that's how I've ended up with the amount of subscribers that I have because I've covered many different stories. I've told y'all when the Kanika Jenkins story was big, people was all over that story. It was a rabbit hole with that. There was so many old conspiracies and new videos, and oh, we think it was this and we think it was that. And then Zach TV was really covering it. Zach TV was like the Keys News, right, of that particular story. Like he was like, yo, like he got all the tea. He was in Chicago where it happened, like to a T, y'all. I followed that story for a long time and I reported on it for a long time. Lots of videos and things like that. And I ended up getting a lot of subscribers from it. So that's what I'm saying, and again, going back to Queen Step Live, you win some, you lose some, right? Sometimes when you shift gears and like, come on, let's be real. A lot of people didn't even think that they could stop talking about the damn LaTruth saga. And now you got some people who have moved on to this story or other stories and they're doing great. They're doing great. They got people engaged. They want to talk, they're interested in the story or what have you. Right. And so that is a part of being a content creator. It's a part of your journey as a content creator. Like you touch on many different things that you are passionate about because that's when you're going to produce or you're going to perform in the best manner as it pertains to your content. That's why you got people saying, yo, I love when you go live, or I like the way you do your commentary or whatever, because when you speak on things that you know or that you can relate to or that you're passionate about, you're able to connect with your audience better that way. And that is how you build a platform. Not get mad because somebody who followed me from the LaTruth saga no longer follows me on this story. There is a whole lot of new people that I didn't even know existed. I didn't know about Keys Network until this story happened. Now I'm watching his content, and trying to get his perspective on the case, watching some of his receipts, and like I'm in some more Facebook groups. I'm meeting more people. It's all about networking. It's a big world out there, y'all. You can't hold people hostage. Some people gonna go with you, some people not. And they still may support you. They may not unsubscribe or, or whatever. It just may be like, you know what, hey, this is where it ends for me right now. To be honest, most people do not unsubscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't follow you or they don't watch your stuff for a while, you fall out of their algorithm. Most people do not take the extra time to go back and unsubscribe from you unless you do something really offensive. Keep that in mind. If people are taking their time to come and unsubscribe, that should tell you everything you need to know, that there is a level of offense there where they took an extra minute or two out their day to come to your page and unsubscribe. They were offended about something you said, something you did, or something you posted. And if you care anything about your platform, you would take note and move differently. Just report y'all content. That's what Queen Step said. That's what I was saying on DM panel yesterday. Just do your content. Say your piece and move on. I did 2 videos on Romeca today. That's how I felt about the situation. I put my I'm working on another video. I'll probably record it tonight or tomorrow sometime so I can make sure y'all get it tomorrow. Say your piece and move on. People take it or leave it. Some of my Romeca videos doing good numbers. Some of them just chilling at 300 or 400, view. It don't matter. That's not what I'm doing it for. I'm passionate about the story. I'm still a supporter, but not on this situation. See, that's what I'm saying, Joanne. Like it just is what it is. Felicia says that part, so I'm not touching. Okay, I read that one. Sherry says, once you show me who you are, I believe it and I'm done with you. I don't blame you and I respect that. But that's the risk people take. And that's why I said, like, it's when it comes to these platforms, you got to consider that. And you know what's so sad? People just don't have emotional control. That's all it's coming down to. People have no emotional control. And it's sad. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's mainly in the black culture, and maybe I'm just saying that because I'm black, right? But we have this thing, especially us black women, right? When we get upset or we get bothered, we start feeling like we don't need nobody. Fuck the whole world, right? We'll cut the whole world. Like I got a sister like that. She get mad about some shit that ain't even that serious, and she just go fucking crazy. Like she just be like, fuck everybody. I don't need nobody. Don't call me. Don't touch my kids. Don't look at my kid. Like she just go from fucking A to Z. And it's like, girl, it was not even that fucking serious, girl. You mad about a soda or, some shit that was not even that serious. And so we have a tendency of doing that. Like when we feel like we not getting our way or we want to have a fucking tantrum, instead of just addressing the issue at hand, we start throwing tantrums and attacking people that ain't even fucking attacking us, right? We start shitting on everybody. Like people that like it's like we can't separate it, right? So we got to get to a point where we do the work on self, right? And realize, you know what? I'm upset right now, and this is why I'm upset. All these other factors have nothing to do with why I'm upset. Address that. Like, damn, you gonna throw everything you work for in the trash over an opinion or a story or some people you don't know? Y'all gotta shake that. Come on now. Rod says they not really blogging, they starting ish. I agree. I have to agree. Free says, in my opinion, those that side with Holly have a different type of hatred in their heart, and they would let petty beef allow them to take a life. That's condescending, sarcastic comments if you don't support Holly. And that's my point, Free. And again, like I said, that man, you just summed it up for me in so many ways. This is what people are not thinking. Like there's so many levels to this, right? Like people are really looking. Hey, Chandrika, welcome in, baby. There's so many layers to this, y'all. And people taking it personal. Like there are some people who really sit in back. I can only speak for myself, right? When things get morally crazy, like it's a moral or a spiritual story or a moral or spiritual element to something, I start taking a look back at as you as a person, right? Like I start thinking like, damn, what if I was Romeca? You wouldn't give a fuck that somebody just shot me in my face? You know what I'm saying? Like I start thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? So again, people not thinking like it's so much to like people are thinking about this in so many ways that you may or may not be acknowledging. Like you may or may not be realizing that it's not nothing personal. Listen, the world is upside down right now, y'all. My daughter just sent me a clip with the president. Someone was asking him, like, hey, there's this story of this girl that I guess she got hit in the face by the ice or something like that. And, she was being brutally attacked, whatever. And the lady was like, you don't think that's overkill? You don't think that's too much? He was like, no, I think it's not enough. What the fuck? The lady on the ground. I'm looking at the clip. The lady on the ground, like, and whoever was over her was finna look like they was finna hit her or beat her like a man. He like, no, I don't think it was enough. And y'all can't understand why somebody might be fucking side eyeing you because you think that it's okay for a stranger. Like, no regard to their life. Like, oh well, she lost her life. She shouldn't have been talking shit. What? Well, she slept with this man, or she had this many partners, or she had an STD. Oh, she did like what the fuck does any of that matter? Hey Sabrina, welcome in, baby. It's just crazy to me. So again, you got to think people are trying to morally and spiritually work through this and make sure are they okay with rocking whatever way they're choosing to rock, right? Do I feel morally okay with saying that Romeca deserved to be shot in her face after dropping off her baby and writing him a letter in his lunchbox? Like, come on. And I even said that in somebody chat. I don't remember whose chat. I was like, no matter, I said, y'all can, I forgot how I worded it, but I was like, no matter what Romeca was, baby, she left that baby a note in his lunchbox. She couldn't have been that fucking bad. I'm sorry, you can't convince me. You can't convince me that she was that horrible, that she took the time. And it wasn't no one liner. She wrote a paragraph. She wrote a paragraph to that baby in his lunchbox, heartfelt. It wasn't sloppy. Like she wrote all the words out. Mommy loves you. Like, come on now. She took her time. That's crazy. Like, you can't make me believe that this woman was some cold-hearted, evil person. Let's be real, right? We all done beef with somebody in our life, right? And we done said some fucked up shit and we don't talk crazy, right? Let's be real. Some of us in relationships, marriages, and all. Baby, please, I done talk some shit to my husband. I promise you. I know he think I'm crazy. I know he think I'm crazy. Okay? But that still does not negate that we all have moments, right? That ain't cute. That ain't pretty. Like, let's be real, y'all. When you get mad or ignorant, or you feel like you right, or you pissed off, or whatever, you don't care about none of that. You trying to get your point across, right? And it's unfair for somebody to capture that moment, to hold it in the chamber for, God forbid, your demise. And instead of honoring your memory, they step on it, they stomp on it. Nah, y'all think she was so great? This who she was. What? In that one moment? So you mean that's how she was her entire life? Come on. Let's be for real here. Um Nate says Rod straight starting beef over people we never met is diabolical. It is. Free says it's mind blowing, so I don't comment, but that whining shit gotta go. No, for real. Cause baby, listen. Heh. Christy. Hey, Christy. She says, hey, Ashley, I'm a new subscriber, but I usually watch from the bushes while at work. I wanted to say Romeca was a mother and she didn't deserve that, nor her son. I don't care. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I don't care what way you flip it. I don't care what way you flip it. And I'm a mom and I love my kids. And I just could not imagine somebody taking my life over some petty bullshit. And then a bunch of fucking people that don't know me on YouTube being like, well, she shouldn't have done this. She shouldn't have fucking ate that chicken last Friday. She shouldn't have took her ass on a walk. Like, come on. Like, seriously. I love your commentary so much. Thank you so much, Chandrika. I appreciate you, baby. Yes, yes, yes. That's how I feel. And the empathy of a life that was taken. That's what I'm saying. And I'm going to be real with you, Chandrika. I don't feel like that's asking for too much. No one's saying that, you can't feel how you feel. And that's another thing, child. Lord, I think I got ADHD because I just start thinking about all these things at one time, right? That's another thing for me, right? No one's saying that you can't feel how you feel, but they taught us in grade school that if you don't have nothing to say that is nice, don't say nothing at all, right? And so again, like, of course, you're gonna have some bloggers, like we've seen big bloggers like Tasha K. I think she's kind of ruthless in some of her delivery or whatever. Um, but like she has a large platform, right? So it's a little bit different when you have that type of platform. Doesn't make it right, but it is what it is, right? So when you are a content creator, I feel like most of us that y'all know or associate with or support, we are small content creators, right? So it's more family friendly, it's more personal, right? Like it's more personable. Some of y'all can write us on social media, y'all can shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram, or you know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that with Tasha K or some big vlogger, right? Kendra G or somebody like that, right? So when you have connected over a story, right? Like a lot of us have connected through the Latrue saga. Some of y'all have met each other, like went to fucking meetups and shit. Like the connection is real, it's solid, right? And then for this type of story to fall and to see or to feel like the person you thought you knew, right? Or the person you thought you morally and spiritually aligned with for whatever reason, right? Oh, this person has a good heart. Oh, this person does this. Oh, like y'all follow me or y'all watch me or engage with me for whatever your personal reasons are, right? Whether you found me in the Latrue saga, a different video. Shout out to Shell if she's still in here. Shell found me when I was reporting on the beef with tonight's conversation. You know what I'm saying? And she stuck around. Why? Because she liked my commentary. She liked my topics and things like that. It has nothing to do with tonight's conversation anymore. You know what I'm saying? So people find you for through many different ways and many different reasons. And although a lot of people found each other, because of the Latrue saga, most like that don't mean you had to stick around. You could have very well chose to no longer support me or no longer come around or whatever, right? So I value you. I value every single one of you, even those of you that are in the bushes that may support me silently all the time and never comment. Maybe you just hit the like or whatever. I value you, right? Because without you, it's not possible to come on here. I mean, you could come on here and talk to yourself, but I ain't got that kind of time, right? I know how to come on here and talk to myself. But what I'm saying is I value you and I appreciate you. And you guys, regardless of how you feel about my delivery and how strong you feel like my voice is and things like that, it's because of y'all that my voice is what it is as far as the strength of it and things like that, right? Because you value, things that I say and messages that I give or whatever, and vice versa. And so I appreciate that. But the thing that comes with that is you start feeling like you know a person, right? And you start feeling like you connect with them on whatever level, right? Like, oh, I like the way your delivery is, but maybe you feel like, oh, you know what, I just like her style, or I can't put my finger on it, like it's her vibe or whatever, her spirit, like she's a sweet person or whatever your opinion is. And not just with me, whoever it is that you support and follow, right? So if something happens such as this Romeca case, and then all of a sudden I go all the way left and it kind of catches you off guard, it could be like a gut punch. Like I can't be mad that you no longer resonate, right? Because sometimes, whether we mean to or not, right? It could be unintentionally, you can misrepresent yourself. So when you do things like this, right? And this is why I try to before I cover cases like this, right? I really make sure that it's really what I want to do. And I really make sure that I'm secure in my stance and that I can present my stance without trying to step on other people's toes or be disrespectful to other people, right? Because not only do I need to consider other content creators who are already reporting on this story or what have you, I have to be considerate of my audience, right? Because again, things that you're talking about and that you are speaking on, we're not that much different, y'all. I know y'all might think like we ain't got nothing in common or whatever. A lot of us got a lot of shit in common. A lot of us share some of the same traumas. A lot of us have been through some of the same type of heartbreaking ass like situations and conversations and family dynamics and relationship troubles and the situations with our kids, and like we not that much different, y'all. So you have to handle cases and your platform and things like that with care, because you can hurt people unintentionally. And that's why I love when, as hard as it is, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard when a supporter comes to you and say, you know what, hey, I don't like when you did this, and I rock with you. I ain't like when you did that, or I ain't like when you said that, or when you said that, this how it felt, or this how it seemed, right? But the responsible thing to do, right, if you care anything about your supporters and your platform, is to take that into consideration, especially when you know within your heart of hearts, regardless of your ego, your pride, or whatever, when someone is really looking out for your best interest and you know that what they're talking about is really going to help you in the long run. Because that's how we grow in life. You cannot grow in life being stubborn and refusing to hear nobody because you want to just be this how I feel. Oh well, you're not going to get nowhere in life like that. I'm telling you what I know. And it's crazy because most people ain't creating platforms just so that they can just be stagnant and not grow. That's a waste of your time. It's just crazy. And so many of y'all invest with us, whether it's your time, whether you just come in the chat, like the video, engage. Some of y'all send cash apps, some of y'all send super chats, super stickers, whatever, right? You invest with the content creator. Some of y'all check in on our platforms daily or regularly, right? So we owe that to you. You know what I'm saying? When you feel like, hey, you know what? And not to say that every recommendation or piece of advice is going to be automatically accepted, right? But it should most definitely be considered. You know what I'm saying? Because how are you going to build connection, or how are you going to build community with people who can't even come to you and voice how they feel? Right? Now, y'all know how I am. I don't let nobody come disrespectful, baby. I will block your ass and you'll be talking to Jesus on my platform. Y'all know. Y'all know how I give it up. I don't play like that. You can't come over here talking crazy, right? But if you're being reasonable and respectful, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna come over here talking sideways. And it's the same way with y'all in the chat. Ain't nobody finna come over here and play with y'all in my chat. Absolutely not. Because we ain't doing that over here. Let me see. Kim Kobe says, I agree. Can I trust you? Will you feel the same about me? Right, Kim Kobe. And in a world like this, baby, you better be asking that. You better be asking that. Y'all remember the story of the girl that went overseas with her friends, paid for the trip and all that, and they killed her. The girl didn't even see 24 hours of the trip she paid for, thinking these people her friends. Baby, you better ask questions. And people shouldn't feel offended by that, especially with something extreme like this case. Sabrina says, reading your caption, all I can say is those that justify Meeks unaliving sound like the racists that justify Trayvon unaliving. No, for real. And that's real. That's real. Raquel says, right, that said a whole lot about her character as a person. Absolutely. Sabrina says, them racists said, well, he shouldn't be walking late on a night with his neighborhood. He shouldn't be wearing a black hoodie. He should have had his. That's what I'm saying, and that's the thing. It's like it's always he shoulda, she shoulda, well they shouldn't have done this, and they, like, are you serious right now? Like, it just be blowing me when people do that. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just crazy to me. Sabrina says these same people got to be picking and choosing because Zimmerman bald head is. Sabrina, I cannot with you. Got off. On stand your ground just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Sorry, y'all, but I'm baffled. No, for real. Sabrina, I think we all are. I ain't gonna hold you. And I feel like it's just getting worse by the day. It's just getting worse. I'm like, oh my God. Which is why I did this live. Because when I do my lives, when it comes to these type of things, I'll be trying to help y'all make it make sense, right? I'll be trying to get y'all to understand human behavior. That's what I went to school for, y'all. Like, psychology is my thing. Okay. Like, I love it. Eat, sleep, and breathe psychology. I'm always trying to rationalize, like, you know what? This is probably why that happened. Like, just from what I'm seeing, this what I see. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us don't have the patience to do that, right? Or maybe it's just not your thing. Like, some people are good at engineering or computer stuff or, whatever. Like, we all have our thing. Psychology is my thing. So, like, I see a lot of human behavior, and I ain't gonna hold you. I am not a patient person, but I do give people a whole lot of chances before I'm like, you know what, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So my thing with that is when it comes to like things that I'm observing, I can probably take a lot more in that department versus other people. Like, some people probably not tolerant to certain things when it comes to their beliefs and people's behavior, or people's behavior going against everything that they believe in morally or spiritually, right? If it doesn't align with their spirit or it makes them uneasy, they will cut your ass off, right? Whereas that is a factor for me as well, but also because of my whole love of psychology and studying it and things like that, I rationalize, like, you know what, this is probably why this is happening, right? I try to look deeper and get a better understanding, and empathize, right? That everybody seems to be struggling with. I try to have empathy and understand, like, you know what, people be going through shit. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But however, I ain't gonna lie, it's hard sometimes. You got to find the balance between understanding that people go through shit and then still also respecting your boundaries spiritually or whatever. And again, I think people need to understand that when it comes to this Romeca case, right, it's a spiritual boundary for a lot of people. And you have to stop taking it personal. It's not nothing personal, right? People, some of us believe we're gonna die and go to heaven or hell, or we're gonna die and see our maker or meet our maker, and we're gonna have to answer for shit that we've done, right? Depending on your beliefs, whatever your beliefs are, right? Hey, Dham, welcome in. I appreciate your super sticker. And so when it comes to that, right? Like we want to be okay with the choices and decisions that we make, right? Like let's be real. If people didn't have a moral compass for real, or they didn't respect morally or spiritually, like it'd be a whole lot more reckless as like homicides and manslaughters and murders and you know what I'm saying, and unalivings and all that. And no shade, it's a lot already, right? But it would be even more if people did not have that moral or spiritual compass, right? So instead of taking offense to that, right, we should actually be grateful that people do have, you know, some sense of morality or spirituality that they fall back on when it get hot in the kitchen, right? Because God forbid, if everybody start acting like the man in charge right now, we gonna be all doomed. I'm telling you right now. Don't get to a point where you normalize shit that should not be normalized, y'all. It's not normal for somebody to get shot down in the street over an argument over a baby father or whatever. We don't even know what the argument was. If there was an argument, we don't know, right? But whatever it was, it didn't have to amount or equate to Romeca losing her life. And that's the part that I think a lot of people are struggling with. It's like how you can't justify this and just all the factors. On the video I posted today, like it was I don't know how we missed it, but shout out to Nina Johnson on Facebook. She was sharing how this guy, he was an actual instructor for the conceal to carry class or whatever. And so he talked about it when it first happened. And he said, of course he was, being funny, like making jokes and shit like that, right? But he basically was saying like obviously she learned the wrong way, or she didn't take the class serious, or didn't pay attention, because ain't no way she gonna try to claim self-defense. She can't claim self-defense by going to the location or the environment of someone that she has a restraining order on. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy because to my knowledge, Holly only has the baby that she keeps saying she was trying to protect in the car, right? So why is you at the school? You could have kept your ass home with the baby. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it's not no secret that, Romeca's son went to the school. Like you sleeping well, baby daddy. Y'all share the same baby daddy. I'm sure he relayed that information to you. Right. So again, when I saw that, I was like, you know what, let me share this, because I never saw that until today. And I think he made some great points. And he was just saying, like, people don't understand, like that you don't just because you got a concealed to carry, it does not give you a pass to just shoot any and everything and then be like, oh well, I'm licensed to kill. Like that's not that's not what that means, right? Like it's just crazy. So if you haven't checked out that video, definitely check it out because he was spot on. Um, Let's see. Raquel says, while some mothers take their kids with them to do dirt. No, for real, Raquel. Or out in the street, not taking care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? We got people out here crucifying people because they got SNAP benefits and, you know what I'm saying, things like that. And it's like, here this girl was dropping her baby off, packed his lunch, wrote him this long ass letter, you know what I'm saying, telling him that she loved him and all of that. And she on her way to work. Like, come on. Jesus Christ. It's just insane. Jeanette says, even if you don't agree on Romeca's actions, why even do commentary? Even if you think she should have been knocked off, I would never speak negatively on this. Have a little compassion on. That's what I'm saying, Jeanette. Hey, Brittany Tyner, welcome in, baby. That's exactly what I'm saying. When I said earlier, in grade school, they teach us if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Like, that's a real thing, right? Like, y'all have heard me so many times be like, you know what? I'ma just hush. I'm not gonna say that, right? Because again, like what I'm saying, no matter what my intent is, right? Like maybe I'm trying to be funny, maybe I'm trolling or whatever. It could be offensive to someone, right? Or it could just simply be unnecessary. Right? Like we all like come on, we done seen somebody that look a hot mess, right? Like they put on some shit that was not flattering to their body, right? Or it didn't fit their body type, or they put some shit on and they didn't know what fucking size they wore. Like the shit was 3 times too little and shit like that. We done seen motherfuckers walk around with plumber's crack and shit like that. Like they bend over their whole ass out. We done seen all type of shit, right? We don't stop in the moment and blurt the shit out, right? We don't point it out. We don't antagonize or harass somebody. You know what I'm saying? We just choose to just let that rock, right? Because it would be inappropriate. The same thing applies when it comes to social media, especially when you call yourself a vlogger, a content creator, whatever your title is that you've addressed yourself as, right? You got to understand that that comes with a certain level of responsibility. And so if you're going to have people, or you want people to follow you, or you want to be an influencer, or you want people to be influenced by you, or things that you say, or you want people to trust, that you are an honest person that can deliver a message or deliver content or news to the best of your ability and be genuine, what I'm saying, about it, right? Not saying you're going to be 100% right. Because sometimes we get it wrong, right? Maybe we can misunderstand a story or whatever. That's a difference in, I think that's different than, when it comes to morals and spirituality, right? I'm talking about like when it comes to certain things like this, right? This particular case, you have to handle stuff like this with care for a number of reasons because you don't know what people's beliefs are. You don't know what they believe in. You don't know what they do or how they align spiritually. You don't know if it's something that they can relate to in their real life. Maybe they went through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you cannot be insensitive when it comes to certain topics and then get angry if people are not going to support that or not rock with that, right? Like, come on, like we could talk about so many different organizations. Like there's people who are like, for instance, breast cancer, like the ribbon. Like how would it make people feel for me to come on here and just start disrespecting, what I'm saying, the cancer society or the ribbon or like I think y'all get my drift. It's like you have to be careful, like when you say and present things on your platform or on social media, period, because you can offend a lot of people. And unless you don't care about being successful and you just want to waste your time and come on here and talk to yourself and not have support, then by all means, baby, do your big one, drive off the nearest cliff. You know what I'm saying? Do your big one. Right. But if you care about your platform and you want to be able to sleep at night and be settled in your spirit to know that you were genuine and you came from a good place and that you meant well, right? Then you are not going to intentionally or recklessly be hurtful or dismissive to other people's feelings just for the sake of, well, this is my opinion. Because that's when now people gonna match your disrespect with they, you know what I'm saying? Like now they're gonna match your disrespect and the easiest way to get you is to withdraw support. Ass fucking Peach McIntyre. She been fighting for her life. She was nasty to that one lady. That's another perfect example. I'm glad I just brought it up. When she told that lady she didn't care that her son, that she had just lost her son, the world went ape shit. Every time she recreates a page, they get that shit snatched. She thought she had figured it all out. She went and bought a whole new phone and all type of shit trying to cheat the system. And boom, I just saw another video or something like that like a few days ago saying that now her new page is banned. Like y'all think it's a game out here. There's people who really like there's certain lines that you can't cross morally and spiritually and then think that you're gonna come online to capitalize or come online and just spew hate and say crazy disrespectful shit and think people still gonna rock with that. It's just not it's not gonna happen, yo. It's not gonna happen. It's out of pocket. It's out of pocket for a number of reasons. Again, nobody, I know I don't even know the lady. I didn't see the exchange or none of that. I think I saw clips here and there, right? But I don't even know what the lady looked like or none of that. It's just the fact that Peach McIntyre told this woman on a live stream that she doesn't care that she lost her son. What? Are you okay? You got 9 fucking kids. Is it 9, 7, 8? However many fucking this bitch got a whole fucking basketball team of kids. And you just told a lady that you don't care that she lost her son? And she think like, what's the big deal? Like, what's the problem? But you know what? She could argue like some of y'all and be like, well, that's my opinion. You got to respect my opinion. No, people don't. In that situation, nah, because now you crossing spiritual and moral boundaries. It goes past the opinion now. Because now you disrespecting the dead. Hello? You know what I'm saying? You a mom telling another mom you don't care that she lost her child. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many boundaries right there where it's like, are you kidding me? Perfect example. She crossed boundaries and now people don't rock with her the same and her platform has taken a hit. She thought all them millions of followers were permanent, like she was just gonna always make a bag. Girl, the government is shut down. Facebook not paying. Well, honestly, none of the platforms is paying like they used to. Right? They done changed up the requirements and all type of stuff. So now that check ain't checking, and you still got them same 9 kids that you gotta take care of. And you didn't consider that before you told this woman that you don't care that she lost her son. Like, come on. And you got all them goddamn kids. Now, how would you feel if somebody said that to you or about one of your kids? It's out of pocket. And that's what people not paying attention. It go over your head, like, and then to label it as an opinion, nah. Like, I mean, I guess technically you could say it's an opinion, but it's an opinion that is insulting to a lot of people's morals and spiritual beliefs. Like, come on, that's crazy. Chandrika says, because I experienced it yesterday. I was hurt. I stayed in my feelings and was booted out. I told you how I feel in love and because I support you, but things you're doing is a slap as a supporter. That is so sad. I am so sorry, Chandrika, for real. I'm so sorry. But here's what I will say, Chandrika. Um, Going back to what I said earlier in my life, I think a lot of people are just in a bad place. When it comes to this social media thing, right? When you feel like you're being rejected or iced out or alienated or like you're losing control of your platform or the support of it and things like that, sometimes you will act out. Um, and it doesn't make it right, right? So please don't think I'm excusing the behavior because it's not excusable, right? But what I think is that some people just do not have emotional control in some situations, right? And so when you don't do the healing or the work on self, you will hurt people that did not hurt you, right? And sometimes you can't see that you're being reckless in the moment. And so, unfortunately, for a lot of people, it'll cost them, right? Because some people not going for that. Like I've seen a few of you in the chat say, like, nah, like once you show me who you are, like I'm done. I'm withdrawing support. I'm not gonna support. I'm not gonna stand with that, right? And that's your prerogative. But what I want to say is, because Chandrika, I think you seem like a very just a sweetheart. Like just the I'm just gonna say that because I don't know. Like I assume that you're spiritual and things like that. Like your vibe, your spirit, everything is just beautiful, right? And so what I would say is just try not to take it personal, right? I know it hurts or whatever, but I don't think that this is the true representation at this moment. I think that some people are just in a bad space emotionally and they can't get control of it emotionally. So instead of stopping and taking a breath and taking a breather and stepping back, I feel like they're just going head first, right? And the crazy part is, right, and this happens even in toxic relationships, right? We get so mad and so angry to where we feel like, you know what? Rock with me or don't. I don't give a fuck. Right. So then the people that do rock with us, like we'll treat them like shit and then still expect that they're gonna stick around for that. And that is just so toxic on so many levels. Right. So I would just say maybe take a breather, step back, try not to take it personal. I can't tell you how to act or react, but what I will say is I don't think that everyone that is blogging on this story at this moment currently is acting in who they truly are. I think they're allowing their emotions to take over and it's just destroying a lot of things, right? And this is what I mean when I say people self-sabotage and they don't want to hear nothing. I mean, think about like a child, right? When kids get to they want to be hard-headed teenagers or whatever, they feel like you can't tell me nothing. I'm grown. I got it all figured out. All this other shit, right? Um, they don't want to hear nothing. And it could be exactly what they need to hear and they know it, but they reject it at that moment. And then later they come back and say, you know what, you was right. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? So I hate that though, because you're a sweetheart. Um, Raquel says, right, how she handled it and what she did was not tactic or taught. She was on self will with that one. Wow, I missed it, y'all. Chandrika says, I'm going to post my experience directly on my platform because it was done to me. It hurt by because I was genuine. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Chandrika. Like, that's just so unnecessary. And that's unfair to you. Brittany Tyner says, you have to carry yourself a certain way when you are a content creator and respect your check. Make them feel comfortable to come into your exactly, Brittany. Exactly. And then you know what? Again, the responsible thing to do if you feel like you're not in a space where you can, then you just don't come on, right? Sometimes you just need to take a hiatus. Like sometimes you just need to take a breather, right? Like I've gotten like that in my real life, right? Like when it's just been a shitty day, everything's going wrong. I told y'all last month I had gotten to a side swipe with my truck. And the crazy part is I had a hair client that day. It was like a Saturday. The girl was pregnant. So I was trying to be nice, like because it was late and I didn't want her to catch the bus. She's pregnant, right? Now, of course it's safe here or whatever, but I'm just like, yo, she's pregnant. Like she's a black girl pregnant in fucking Germany. Her family not here. Like she's single. Right. So I'm like, I'm gonna take you home. She was like, what? Oh my God, thank you so much. Right. So in us going home, she was asking me about Chinese food, and I'm telling her I only eat it at this one place here, right? And she's like, "Oh my God, I've been wanting some Chinese food so bad." Da 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 da. Da. Again, she's pregnant, so I'm like, you know what, girl? I was like, I'm gonna just take you, and she was like, "What? Oh my God, you're so nice. Like, you don't have to do that. You're already taking me home." Blah 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 blah. In me trying to go get her the Chinese food, I got into the side swipe, y'all. And I'm like, what the fuck? Right. So then the girl was like, man, I feel bad. I should have just had you take me home. Like, she thinking like, man, I done got the truck messed up, blah, 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 whatever. Right. But it was cool because again, for one, there's nothing I can do but sit here and wait on the fucking cops to show up. Right. But so I called my husband. I'm like, hey, can you come get her? Like, she pregnant, she gotta get home. I was like, I told her I was taking her to get food. Please just take her to get food and then take her home for me. Cause like I don't know how long the fucking cops going like it was late. Like it was late, like 9. It's dark. I ain't never dealt with no German cops. I don't know what I'm finna get into. My baby girl freaking out or whatever, right? So I'm saying all that to say that hold on, I lost my whole train of thought. Damn, I lost my whole I was going somewhere with that, y'all. But anyway, sometimes I guess I was trying to say like sometimes you can mean well and you can have good intentions and shit just go left. And so in those moments, like you have to figure out how you're going to act and behave, right? I could have been snapping on my kids. I could have got an attitude with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I shouldn't have like I only got in this accident because I was trying to get you. You know what I'm saying? Like I could but I knew my intentions were genuine. This girl was pregnant. I didn't want her to have to pay like because now she could have rolled the bus but it was late and she was pregnant. Then she was gonna call a Uber. But I already know on the weekends anywhere it's gonna cost a fucking fortune. So I'm like, nah, girl, I'll just take you home. Like, there's no reason for you to pay $65 for an Uber to take you home. I could just take you home. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that my intentions were good. So although I got inconvenienced and my truck got messed up or whatever, I have to believe that because I was coming from a good place and I was trying to help this girl, this situation is gonna work out for me. You know what I'm saying? But you got to control yourself in those particular situations instead of taking it out on everybody and getting crazy and ignorant and all this other stuff. Like emotional control is so important, y'all. Um, it's so simple to understand, right, Kim Colby? Yes, it hurts when you tell someone something out of love. And you know what, Kim Colby? I ain't gonna lie, like sometimes you just can't, especially us blacks. Like we just don't want to hear it. I'm so sorry. Like I hate that, but black people just don't do the work. And I hate to say it like that. I don't want to um seem like I'm talking down on our culture or whatever, but it's just the sad truth, right? Like we don't want to be told nothing until shit get bad. Like we fuck everything up and then we want to listen. Like while we're fucking it up and people saying, hey, you know what, you might want to pump your brakes. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to hear that. We want to keep fucking it all the way. We want to destroy it completely. And then we want to sit down and listen. And sometimes it's too late. So The YouTube leader after his code. Ugh, child. Chandrika says, my character is my character. I sent them. I told the storm and said, y'all give God praise this Sunday. We are so blessed. I am this person in real life. Absolutely, Chandrika. I told you. I knew. I just knew it. I knew it because I watched certain things on your channel, like what you doing hair and things like that. You could just tell. You can just tell. Fee says they out the key. What you mean, Fee? They over here or something? Fee, who out the gate, girl? I'm dead. Brittany says some content creators and supporters take breaks and come back with a clear mind. Absolutely. You have to. And that's what I'm saying. Like but you gotta be responsible enough to know, like, you know what, I'm doing too much, I'm going too far. I'm just not in a good space right now. And so, I should just chill. And now that just reminded me where I was going with that story, right? Because my day ended up like that, even though I had good intentions, when I came back, I was obviously like just not in the mood, right? So I just went and took a shower. I just went and took a shower and, everything I needed to do to relax. And, that's just how I ended my day. But I didn't want to start, treating people like shit, like it was their fault. Like it's not, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to do the right thing and ended up fucking up my truck, but it is what it is. Brittany says, so did the girl get home safely? Ashley, she did. Yep, she sure did. Matter of fact, I just saw her like 2 days ago when I was at the store. She's like, hey, I'm like, oh, hey, girl. Yeah, she got home. Left my ass off, effing it all the way up. Girl, yeah. In break room. Going it live right now. What you mean? They into it or something? Oh. Wait, Fee, why? What happened? Child, see what I'm saying? People something else. Child, you can't challenge nobody opinion, child. You can't challenge nobody point of view or nothing. Like it's just getting crazy out here. But honey, I already told y'all what that was, so I don't even know why y'all shocked. People be needing a reason. People be needing a reason, and this was the reason. Clock it. Y'all gonna learn one day. I don't be lying to y'all. That ain't all. Just sit back and wait. Says yes, Romeca Holly. Child boo. That is so crazy. I'm so tickled. Lord have mercy. I told y'all. Y'all didn't listen to me. I told y'all what it was. I told y'all what that was, honey. And with that note, maybe I should just go ahead on and end my live, honey, because I'm not trying to get on here trolling. This was a good, productive live. I was just trying to, I'm saying, make it make sense for y'all. So maybe I need to just go ahead on and get up off of here. Because I told y'all. Chandrika says, I love your commentary and I can't express that enough. Keep doing what you're doing. You remind me of always being the peacemaker. I like you the day on Breakroom platform. The law shifted my support, so I'm sorry. Aw, thank you so much, Chandrika. That really means a lot. I really, really appreciate it. I have encountered so many people in my life that owe me an apology and I just never get it. So I've just normalized, like I've just become numb to it. So it feels really good for someone to, just apologize, genuinely. And like I said, I get it. Like I understand human behavior. And so a lot of things I didn't take personal when it came to the saga and people siding with, who they side with or whatever, as it pertains to the supporters, right? Because I get it. Like it just is what it is. So she says they both live going. Brittany Tyner says, no, don't end it. What you want to talk about, Brittany, girl? What you want to talk about? But yes, Chandrika, thank you so much, baby. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for the super sticker. I really, truly appreciate it. But yeah, no love lost. Like trust me, I get it, y'all. I get it. Like it's just social media. He said I'm screaming. P, I'm not fooling with you. Girl. She said it's too funny. I bet it is, honey. Cause I told y'all. Y'all didn't hear me. I was just a liar. Remember, my line is I was just a liar. So now y'all see. Anyway, I'm finna get up off here because y'all leaving to go over there and watch that shit show anyways. I'll just wait till one of y'all go live laughing and talking about it because I refuse to give a view. So it is what it is. Brittany says that's what I said. Content creators should have love. Wait, should have showed love and make these supporters feel wanted. Absolutely, Brittany. I appreciate my supporters for real. Like I get it. Like we're not gonna all see eye to eye. I ain't gonna lie, there were a few that I was a little disappointed in because I just felt like people automatically start trying to get disrespectful out of this false sense of loyalty to people. When they start feeling like they gotta pick their favorite content creator and shit like that. And personally, I just don't respect shit like that. Y'all know how I am. Like I am very much team have a mind of your own, right? And so to involve yourself between content creators or try to, what I'm saying, like bandwagon with a content creator just off of, oh, I'm more loyal to this one or I've been following this one longer and all like that, to me is just childish and corny. Like it really is. Like, and it's just so unnecessary, right? But people will allow you to take, like, y'all see me on D Ham panel, honey. I was finna listen, baby. Y'all was finna see New York, no shade. But I was like, you know what? It's not even worth all that. I didn't come up here for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was trying to have a productive conversation and we did. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna let nobody take me there. But definitely I peeped, Brittany, um, how it is. And I mean it is. People will be people, no shade. Like people gonna be people. People gonna, no matter how much they say they don't pick sides, people gonna pick sides, baby. You can trust and believe that. So it is what it is. Um, Peeping and geeking, just having fun, y'all, because it's really sad for real. Not peeping and geeking. I am dead. Girl, you was funny. Malish, because they have no life. I agree. I appreciate your engagement with the audience. Have a great rest of your day, Ashley. Thank you so much, Raquel. And thank you so much for your support to this live. I do truly appreciate it. But I'm going to get up off here, y'all. I think I've made all my points, and Fee got me hollering. So I'm going to get up off here. We'll see who go lives next. Y'all protect y'all peace, please. Be smart. Pay attention, peep game, and move accordingly. Okay, respectfully. Thank y'all so much for coming through and engaging in my chat. Shout out to all of you who sent me super chats, cash apps, or whatever way you supported my live, even if it was just a like, a share, or just a comment to engage in my chat. Thank you so very much. I'm not sure when I will go live again, but y'all know me. I only come live if I really do have something of value to say. So, hey, Karen, yes, make sure you catch the replay for me, babe. But at any rate, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will catch y'all on my next live. Y'all go be great.